office of the Always Believe House. Today we're going to finish up Staar Review 23, and you're going to have loads of fun. Math is fun. So let's get going. We're going to start at the top here. Number 20, you should be able to do those okay. Let's do 21. I want to review you on this. On 21, you're going to graph. I'm trying to let you graph this with the x and y intercepts. The x and y intercepts are not 3 and negative 2. Okay, so the x-intercept, 12 divided by 3 would be 4. So on the x-axis, I'm putting a dot at the 4. The y-intercept will be 12 divided by negative 2, which will be negative 6. So on the y-axis, I'm putting a dot on the negative 6. Remember, the slope would be 3 over 2, right? Negative a over b. So if I go up 3 over 2, I'm getting back to those points, aren't I? I'm going to draw a dashed line. Now then, the y is negative. If the y is negative, the inequality flips. So instead of greater than, it's going to turn into less than if we solve for y. Okay, so I would shade not up, but down. So this line will be shaded down. Now then, let's graph the next line. X less than or equal to 3. It only crosses the x-axis at 3. It's going to be a solid line. And I want to be less than 3. So less than 3 is to the left. So the red line shaded down, the purple line shaded to the left. So I'm going to be shading in this part right here. Let's go to 22. This is a new problem. On 22, we're trying to find the rate of change, which is just like the growing number, right? So the number that's the growing number is going to be the rate of change. So on the first one right there, she has $10. That's the starting number. This is the growing number, isn't it? So the rate of change would be $3 per dog walk. Okay, on the next problem, all we need to do, the rate of change is the same thing as the slope. I would get your slope like this. XY, put 5 and 6 in, and put negative 3 and negative 10 in. Then find out the differences. Okay, from 5 to negative 3, you're going backwards. That's negative 8. And from 6 to negative 10, you're going backwards. That's negative 16. Right? Yeah, from 6 to negative 10, right? Okay, so my slope is going to be negative 16 over negative 8, which is going to end up being just 2 in it. If you do the slope this way, you're less likely to mess up. Okay, on the next one, I can pick any 2 points I want. So I'm going to pick the smallest 2. I'm going to get the difference of these and these. From 17 to 8, that's 9. And from 3 to 6 is 3. My rate of change is going to be y minus y over x minus x, right? Or 9 over 3, which would be 3, wouldn't it? So that's an easy way to get the rate of change or slope. Make sure you're able to do that. Okay, let's keep going down. You should be able to squish through 23, 24, and 25. You've been doing that since the beginning of the year. 26, let's get the equations. Okay, Bubba Bob ordered 8 wings and 6 gizzards. Hart's chicken. Okay, so wings will be x, gizzards will be y. This equation would be 8x plus 6y equals 15. Jimmy John purchased 10 wings, that's x, 10 gizzards. So this will be 10x plus 10y equals 21. The problem wants to know the wings. So you're going to plug these in and get the cost of the wings, which will be this part, won't you? So you'll hit menu 3 to enter. Your answer is going to be an XY. You'll plug in the Y's and find out the total cost of the wings. So let's go to 27. Very important you can do this, okay? The slope of this line is negative 2 over 5, and we want a perpendicular line to it. So we want a perpendicular line to this, and it's going to be 5 over 2 in it. Now then, we're going to use point slope, and we want standard form. So y, this is our x and our y, plus 5 equals 5 over 2 parentheses x minus 1. Now then, I'm going to get rid of the 2. The 2's go to the left, and the 5's go to the right. Okay, so I'll end up with 2y plus 10 equals 5x minus 5, and I'm going to let you switch that to standard, okay? Let's go to 28. I'm going to let you do that by yourself. You'll multiply the bottom one by 3, and the y's will be opposite. Now then, this right here is going to be new today, or you're actually doing that this week. You're going to find the zeros by factoring. The zeros are your x-intercepts, right? You could graph it and just get the x-intercepts, but you could, if you don't have a calculator, you can't do that. So we're going to graph this. We're going to multiply 3 and 8 and get 24. Multiply 24, add, get 10. That's 4 and 6. Both of them will be plus. Put 3x on the bottom. This will end up being 2 over x. So my parentheses will be 3x plus 4 and then x plus 2. Now then, this is important. You're doing this in the lesson, I think, today. You got to find the zeros. So if I were to put 3x plus 4 equals 0, move over the 4 and divide by the 3, I would get x equals negative 4 over 3, whatnot. There is a pattern to this. The first thing you do is switch the signs. So write down zeros. The zeros would be the opposite of a positive is a negative. The constant is your numerator. The coefficient is your denominator every single time. Then write down and. The opposite of plus 2 is a negative. The 2 is your numerator, and there's no denominator, is there? So this right here is your zeros. So at negative 4/3 and negative 2, the parabola will cross the x-axis. Let's do the next one. Okay, we want the factors of 40. Let's subtract and give us 6. That's going to be 4 times 10. The 10 is going to be negative. The 4 needs to be positive. Put x on the bottom, and those are my parentheses, right? So I have x plus 4 and x minus 10 equals 0. Those are my factors. My zeros would be the opposite of a positive is a negative. The 4 is the numerator. The denominator is 1. It's just negative 4 in it. If I put negative 4 in there, I get 0, don't I? And then the next one, the opposite of a negative is a positive. And 10 is the numerator. There's no denominator. If I put 10 in there, I get the answer. We don't have to put the plus to it. So negative 4 and 10 are where that parabola will cross the x-axis. Ho, 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 ho. Just remember, the factors and the zeros will have opposite signs. If you have a number in front of x, you'll have a fraction. Let's go to the next one. On the next one, we can factor out a GCF, which would be 4x. So I'm going to get 4x parentheses 2x minus 3. Okay, so if I were to make 4x equals 0, my 0 would be 0, would it? So the zeros would be 0 and the opposite of a negative is a positive, and then you put 3 over 2. So my zeros would be 0 and 3 over 2. And on the last one, this is a difference of squares. You're going to square root. You'll get x plus 6 and x minus 6. Those are your factors. Remember, these are the factors. The zeros are going to have opposite signs. The zeros would be the opposite of plus 6 is negative 6, and the opposite of negative 6 is a positive 6. So the parabola will cross the x-axis at positive 6 and negative 6. Let's go to the next one. You're going to get into this later this week, but in vertex form, f of x equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. This right here and this right here is your vertex, right? The h comma k. This shrinks, or this makes the parabola steeper or wider. It shrinks it or compresses it. So this is a vertical stretch or compress. I know I'm writing kind of sloppy in here. So the A term is either going to stretch it or flatten it. The H is going to move it left or right, and it's opposite, right, since it's negative. And the K is going to be up or down. Okay, so let's look right here. We have the negative. The negative flips it. You should remember that from the graph. So we reflect across x-axis. Now then, the 1/2 is smaller than 1, right? That's going to make the parabola flatter or vertically compress it. So a vertical compress of 1/2. And lastly, the -4 is going to be left or right, and it's the opposite of a -4. The opposite of a -4 is a +4, so you're going to go to the right 4. So to the right, translate right 4 units. Translate right 4 units. Sorry about my handwriting. Lastly, we're going to write down the equation, write down f of x equals, a reflect across the x-axis is a negative. We did not compress it, so we start a parentheses x. Translate left 4, that's -4. When we put -4 in, the opposite of a -4 is a +4, square it, and then down 6 is -6. This right here would be our equation, okay? Oh, now then, the vertex form of this equation is on your formula chart. You just got to remember what does which. And then lastly on 34, convert the quadratic equations to standard form. This is extremely important as we go through this. One of the most important things you're learning in this unit, how to switch these equations and write the equations. Okay, so we're going to drop the -1/2. Now then, we're going to do the product of squares, right? So x times x is x squared. Skip a spot. 6 times 6 is +36. And then remember, if you have x plus 6 times x plus 6, the arch numbers will both be the same, right? If I do 6 times x, I get 6x. I'm going to double that and get plus 12x. Now then, I got to distribute the -1/2. So -1/2 x squared plus 6x plus 18 minus 3, and then I'm going to group these. So my equation will be f of x equals -1/2 x squared plus 6x, and then 18 minus 3 is plus 15. Those two parabolas will look exactly the same. One's in vertex form, one's in standard form. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so we're going to drop the -3. We're going to write the parentheses. X times x is x squared. Skip a spot. -4 times -4 is plus 16. Then you multiply and double. -4 times x is -4x. Double it, you would get -8x. And then plus 8. Now then we're going to distribute the -3. -3x squared plus 24x minus 48 plus 8. Then we got to add up the constants, don't we? So f of x equals -3x squared plus 24x minus 40. Ho, 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 ho. Really important. You could go from vertex to standard because that's how you're going to write a lot of these equations, okay? Have a wonderful day. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.